Hello. Saturday night, weekend live. See what's going on. Drinking this really horrible coffee. I think it's the result of bad coffee pot cleaning. Let me know if it's not buffering or if it's buffering, because I got a horrible signal. Are we good? It's been a long... Actually, it hasn't been too bad of a day. Let's see here. Juan is first. Jason Perry. Daniel Adami is also first. Adam Gallagher. TJ, what's up? Big Rich, good evening. GNC Family Trucking, Right Lane. Old Fat White Guy. Let's see, it's not buffering. You're good. Howdy Partner, Thomas Wilson. Jason Perry. Juan Avalos. Looks like I forgot to mute my phone, so we'll fix that. Chucking along with Kiersey, what's up? Craig Miller, hello, sir. Sounds good in West Virginia. Hello, come in. Daniel Nami, $1.99. This is from YouTube, not me. Why are you giving me $1.99? Not that I'm complaining, but I thought you'd be home. Well, you thought wrong, right, man? I'm actually in your neck of the woods. Kinda. I'm in the big state. The Scribe says $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why is everybody giving me money? That's weird. Rod Styles, I think I said hey to you. Get to work, you lazy bum. I am working, Scott. I am. I had to pay for parking. Sponsored by Texas Best Smokehouse. Hey, Ratman, is Texas Best Smokehouse any good? Is it any good? Thomas Wilson give me $20. What's going on? That's weird. Don't do that. That's funny. Thank you. I appreciate that, Thomas. We had a really good conversation this afternoon. Scott's the one that's not working. I'm in my truck. Average barbecue? Okay. It's kind of... I'm kind of worried about this spot because I'm on the very end, and technically there's probably space for a truck, maybe, but you have the blind side, and the line is way over, so they make the spaces really wide here, which is nice. I think that's the MO of this chain. They have really wide spots, so it's easy to back in, but I didn't even know we had to pay to park here until I saw all the signs in everybody's windows. I'm like, oh, maybe I should go in and check, and sure enough, it is. Well, thank you, Adam. Maybe I'll get some barbecue. Thomas Wilson, thank you very much. Big Rig Radio Network 49. Do I look... Wow, what are you guys doing? That's weird. Thank you very much. I don't know what I did to deserve that, Jeff. But you gave money yesterday? Yes, you did. Scott SR Logistics sponsored a dinner event with him and his wife and myself, and we had a lovely time. And we are we had what was that Texas Roadhouse? Was that good? Yeah, so that was good, man. That was good. And you know, Scott's always got great advice for me. What are you guys doing? $1.99, Randy, thank you very much. Ratman, $14.99, thank you. Wow, you guys are Longhorn Salon. I don't know if that's what it was called. Was it? Longhorn Saloon. Longhorn Saloon, okay. I always get them mixed up. Thank you, Ratman, I appreciate it. Randy Case, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your parking has been funded. Thank you very much. Free money must be nice, says old fat white guy. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That humbles me. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I appreciate that. Is it my shirt? Is it because of this awesome shirt? Is that what it is? I got 2 of these. So, and I could be seen for miles and miles. Jeff, what are you doing, man? Big Rig Radio Network 499. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's going on? That's weird. You guys are freaking me out. Look what you started, Daniel Adami. Yep. Mr. Jeff, I ate Arlene's Thursday. It was awesome. Remind me of old school truck stops. Great food. I would like to experience Arlene sometime, but probably not till summer. Show them guns again. No, they're flab. Spectre is here. Spectre, it's a good time. Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. They have good coffee at this place, so I gotta hurry up and finish this so I can get good coffee. Pretty nice place in here. If you're in the Carbolicious, they look like they got some good desserts in here too. But we're probably gonna, I don't know, I might get some barbecue. Who knows? But Weekend Live, I don't really have a topic at hand. If you guys want to give me ideas, those of you who talk to me on the phone, maybe you can give me ideas what we talked about. I know a friend of mine had an idea, and I completely forgot what it was. How do I get free money? If it requires stripping, I'm down, but I need alcohol. Why do you need alcohol to strip? Alcohol is only a truth serum. So, if you need to strip, but you need alcohol, that means you really want to strip. So, Broncos colors. Oh no, I need to change my shirt then. Daniel Adami, I haven't forgotten you, man. It's just been busy. How long do I get okay, I already read that. Are they keto? John Armstrong, what's up? Is what keto? The desserts? No, absolutely not. They're far from it. What are you down to on your weight loss? I'm still at 260, Agent Orange. But the other thing that's going on is my hands and my arms and my ankles are thinner. So they say that there's a part of a weight loss where, especially in keto, where you don't really lose number weight, but you lose inches. And I think that's where I'm at. My wife registered me for the Turkey Trot, which is a 5K there in Springfield, Missouri, that's held on Thanksgiving Day, which, that reminds me, I'm glad I remembered that. I might have, because I was thinking about working through Thanksgiving, but now I can't. Okay, so I've been really bad about that lately. There's already an event I missed at home that I don't think my wife is still not too happy about to this day. So it was an honest mistake. White Castle sliders. There's a steak and shake here too, I think. But you know, we got Steak Shake Springfield. Pale Rider TV, what's up? Are you having a great day? I'm having a pretty good day. I talked on the phone for most of the day. I talked to Roscoe. I talked to another friend of mine. I talked to Provost. I-49 is finished between Shreveport and Texarkana, and that's kind of cool. That kind of blew my mind. And the next trek, part of my trek, is through the woods in Oklahoma, and I thought that this is as good a place as any. I'm not going to get a restart, so why even try? And so I got about 4.5 hours to drive tomorrow, and then I'll be here for my delivery. I've had an excellent last 3 loads, pay-wise, so I'm pretty happy about that. If I can keep this up and the truck holds up, man, we're good. We're good. We'll make up, because you know, holidays, Christmas and New Year's is going to kind of throw a wrench in a lot of things because it's on a Wednesday this year. Christmas is always easier to make money around when it's around the weekend, like on a Friday or a Monday. But this year it's on a Wednesday, so that screws everything up. And Not sure what my Christmas plans are just yet. And, you know, so there's that. Thank you, John. And again, thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. So let's do a show me state Thanksgiving special. There you go. Actually, I do plan on taking this old crusty GoPro, which is partially broken. I don't know if you guys can see that. And and then the buckle's kind of messed up. See, I plan on taking it with me on the turkey trot thing, because it can show you that a guy like me that's hardly exercised, lost 100 pounds just by changing what he eats, can go out and do a 5K with his family, which is the goal, right? Ralph Floto, what's up? I'm going to eat at Huddle House in a bit. Huddle House. And White, what's up? Flex for Super Chat Marathon. Guys, I'm not muscular at all. That's been done years ago. What's been done years ago? Came through Texarkana about 6 hours ago. Well, if you would have hung out, we'd be hanging out right now, Ratman, but no. Airport, I missed everything. What? Who's going to be the first person to give Snowlord $100? Says Daniel Adami. I'm in Carlisle, heading to upstate New York, then back down to North Carolina. You guys are killing it with that Northeast stuff. Spectre, you're going to have to tell me your secret. Because between the tolls and the lack of parking and the rates coming out, I don't know. I don't know how you guys do it. Anyone who drives to upstate New York in the winter is tip my hat to, right? I've lived up there, so I know what it's like. Whereabouts in Oklahoma? In the middle of nowhere, 70 miles east of Oklahoma City. It's actually a good spot. It's Okemah, Oklahoma. Okemah. And it's literally the same distance from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Pryor. Fort Smith ain't too far. So it's actually kind of a good spot. And some of the stuff on that was actually looking fairly good. Although you call these brokers on the weekend, they're like, what? So automatic postings, right? We can talk about that. Provost, what's up? Provost will be going live later, I believe. Snow Alert, it's at Kenworth. They're like Timex. Watch, they just keep on going, right? Spectre, what's up? I'm running short hops around Missouri around Turkey Day. That's my plan anyways. There was a time where that strategy can work, but it's weird. It's kind of hit and miss on that. 1 week I can make it work, Spectre, and the next week. Now, the St. Louis area, that's a different story. You don't need a beer permit in Missouri, so you can run that Anheuser-Busch stuff all day long. There's some really good paying Anheuser-Busch stuff that goes from Springfield or from St. Louis to Springfield or St. Louis to Rolla or St. Louis to Joplin. Same thing with the other beverages too. I'm proud of you, Snorlord. You come a long way. Blessings. Thank you, Lightbright. Guys, one of my old videos came up in my memories with Pale Rider. It's a Pale Rider coffee feed that we did. And I was hanging out with Scott and his wife last night, and I showed her, she hadn't seen the old pictures of me. I showed her a picture from that time frame, and she was like, wow. So I feel pretty good about that. Thank you, guys. Congrats on weight loss. I lost 42 pounds since August. Hard OTR. Trucking with Kiersey? Awesome. Excellent. Keep going, man. Keep going. I'm willing to share. Just hit me up. Okay. Do what I do on toll roads. Send Bill to Roscoe. Yeah, it is south of Tulsa. I don't know how. I don't know what the parking situation is around there, and there's like 100 different ways to get there from here in Texarkana. So I'm not 100% sure. I might just go with the route I know, but I don't know. It just depends on what's going on. Weatherford, Oklahoma, 60 miles west, has a great steakhouse, Lucille's. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Weatherford is good. I like Weatherford. That was one of my stopping points when I ran west. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Provost is going to do a. Have you seen Triple T lately? He's at a football game right now, the Hool, and then we hung out with him the other day. Do any beer loads head west, John? I don't know. It's when you look at a load board, there are automatic states that I automatically just filter. I just go right over them. And so I don't really pay attention to the stuff that goes out west, like California. Arizona, I kind of notice. But the only time I really notice stuff going west is if there's a ton of it. But for the most part, I don't think beer loads go that far, usually. I mean, I could be wrong. There might be someone yelling at the screen going, Steve, you're such a dumb butt. But in my experience, most beer loads are short. So. Oh, there you go. Spectre, I might call you someday to see how to get in and out of there because I would like to. There were loads last summer going 200 miles for 200 or 200 miles for $1,000. Like, oh yeah. Pretty much got to run third shift though. Don't forget to use the horse racing analogy Chucky said earlier. Okay, so we'll talk about that. In a situation where, like, I've got a lot of things going on personally, mentally, and physically, and it's like I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, and GNC Family Trucking, he came up with something that kind of was kind of interesting on a race horse, right? Because they want them to concentrate on what's in front of them. And sometimes you can be so scattered with all different directions that you almost have to get focused on one thing and just head there, just hit that finish line, right? And I think that with some of the stuff I'm dealing with, I think that's and I think that's why I backed off on the YouTube stuff, because I think the YouTube stuff tends to, I don't know, alter or distract me from what I need to be focused on. Especially when I first came over to like trucking, I was spending too much time on YouTube and not enough time studying low boards and booking freight and all that kind of stuff. So, and the only reason why I'm live tonight is because it's my weekend live. People like it. It's Saturday, and I figured I'd try it. I didn't even think we'd get this far because of the signal, but yeah, Chucky said, racehorse wears blinders for a reason because you got to stay focused. I forget what he said. I can't say it verbatim, but if Chucky wants to put that out there, he can. John Armstrong, yes, Colorado, and they pay very, very, very well. That's kind of, yeah, okay, see? So I knew somebody could answer that more than me. Snarler, I hate driving down to that bud plant in St. Louis. Man, couple of corners are hell. Then back on the big road can be a bugger. Yeah, well, that's St. Louis for you, right, Shadow Wolf? I lost 42 pounds this morning. Tried to cook dinner. Was in the bathroom this morning. That's gross. Ralph Floda, is it true when you haul liquor you have to have a liquor license? Yes. Beer is considered something different, so it just depends on your state. If you guys Google convoy alcohol permits, it'll give you a chart of which states require what. And Missouri differentiates beer from other alcohol. So a truckload of whiskey, you have to have a permit for, but beer you don't. You have to have a permit for intoxicating alcohol, which It's kind of a silly name because I've seen people get totally wasted on beer, right? So, um, it just depends on the state. Some states require that you have it to pick up or deliver, and some states require you have the permit just to go through it, you know. So, oh, is this guy gonna take this spot? That'd be kind of cool. I gave him enough room. That way, someone's not trying to park blindside dark in the dark. So, so that's good. But yeah, liquor's no matter what most of the time. All the time, I guess. Beer is, it varies. Sort of looks like you've lost a lot of weight. Heroes late. Congrats on that, bro. Everybody keeps saying that, but I've stalled on the scale. And this guy must have a cat in his truck. He's got a cat scratching post on the front. Either that, it's a piece of carpet. But I had the like I said, my wedding ring fell off and almost went into like that draining that's in the bottom of the fuel island. And yeah, so it's in a cubby hole up here because I didn't want to lose it. So I'm pulling a load for 250 miles for 1K right now. It's just easy to do up here. You just got to know the pattern. Yeah, Spectre, you and I are going to have a conversation. Can make good out of... You going to be running tomorrow, Spectre? Can I call you tomorrow? Can make good out of Colorado too. When I was at Landstar, I did beer loads out of Colorado to Oklahoma. Those tend to pay the better, and 287 is flat all the way down, so it was pretty easy on the truck too. Snowler, but you helped teach quite a few people all that at that time, all of which needed direction in the freight business. I appreciate that. The wife provost, awesome. Good to see you. Looks like you're 10 to 15 pounds lighter than last week. Really? Yeah, that's weird. I know all my clothes are fitting looser now. There's not a better feeling, to be honest with you guys, when you're close to 400 pounds and you're flirting with 200. I mean, I still got a ways to go to get down to 200, but it's given me my confidence back. It's given me more clarity. It's given me, I don't know. It's been really good for me. It's been very cleansing for my whole, I don't, there's a reason why a lot of religions do fasting and say only eat clean. Now I'm not eating clean all the time, but I can only imagine if I took it to that next level, which I say that keto is easy to do on the road. Clean keto is a little bit more difficult. I've been talking to another friend of mine that I've been bugging him to watch the Magic Pill off of Netflix. He finally did, and he left me a really cool voicemail. And it's really cool when you can touch people's lives like that, because a lot of us are struggling out here, either physically, mentally, or financially, or all the above. And if I can do my part to help everybody out, it makes the world a better place. It makes the industry a better place. And I don't think that we realize how toxic a lot of the elements that we deal with every day are. And if I can help fight some of that toxicity, then so be it. So I run the area during non-winter, and yes, you can make good money there and out. Just know what lanes to run. Okay, Spectre, cool. You say beer, but it's really soda pop. The whole I actually dealt with that. There was a broker that I called on a beer, what was called a beer load, and I showed up at a beverage place, and I'm like, like a soda, carbolicious place, and I asked them, "You guys don't ship beer out of here?" And they're like, "If we did, we'd all be drunk." So I'm like, "Okay." Back in door 28 or whatever it was, and when I went with my carbolicious beverage. Molly Hatchet, flirting with disaster. Yep. How long were you at your heaviest? Um, Probably about 2 years, Rat Man. I think I hit 370 when I was still at Landstar, and then Schneider. I lost a little bit of weight because I was a little bit more active, having to work a little bit more, filling in the gaps, doing more drop and hook, and running a little bit more. But then once the money was good, it was easy to spend money at the truck stops and buy food that I didn't need. And that's the other thing, guys. You save so much money on food, it's ridiculous. It really is. And so if you're hurting financially, good fasting will save you some money. But my heaviest was 380 there, Rat Man, and I think I was between 375 and 380 for at least 2 years, if not a year. Yeah, right, the whole. You have greatly influenced my life in trucking for sure. Well, thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. I'll watch this later. Got to pick up a load in Shreveport. Keep the sunny side up. I just went through Shreveport there, Spooby. Shadow was talking about his videos. There's a Love's in Okama? Okay. Dude, I'm there. Hey, Snow, speaking of soda runs, that Coke plant in Paw Paw, Michigan, I always get great ones out of there, but heavy they are. I used to run loads out of there as a company guy. They went from Paw Paw, Michigan to Waco, Coca-Cola, and vice versa. And I see those rates all the time, those loads all the time out of Paw Paw, but that's good to know. I know that. I think, how fast do they load and unload? Because it seemed like several times I was there quite a while. You're right, eating at truck stops does get expensive, especially if you eat healthy. You can spend $10 on a Subway salad or Quizmos or Limpy's salad, right? And like bottled water is just like crazy expensive. So just to eat healthy, it's even worse. You either go to McDonald's and get the 2 for $4 Big Macs and fries, or you can pay $15 for stuff that actually won't kill you, unless you choke. IKEA has restaurants, or is that a joke I'm not getting? I didn't even look to see what Texas Roadhouse prices were like. Why don't good restaurants exist at truck stops anymore? Fast food is beyond old. Because it's easier to contract that out to, like, for case in point, so where was I this morning? The Loves. I was at the Loves in Gulfport, Mississippi, and I was paying for my coffee because I didn't really make it in the truck for some reason. And there was a guy next to me, like, furious at the counter, and he goes, I was wondering if you can help me communicating a message to McDonald's. And the guy behind the counter was like, we have nothing to do with that McDonald's. They are a complete entity by themselves. And this guy's like, well, blah, blah, blah. I guess he was trying to order and no one was paying attention to him. I'm like, well, they don't deserve your money, dude. Just leave, and put up that Google review. But I agree with you, but people would just rather grab and go and sit in their trucks and then it's easier. Like there are some truck stops that like have like sit down restaurants, but it's a chain, and so the chain has that contract, and so therefore, like take TA for example, and hire all the people that have to work with restaurant. You don't have to know anything about trucks to run the restaurant, right? For the what is it? The country pride, right? And so now they have to deal with employment, taxes, and all that stuff, right? Where it's easier just to take that section of the restaurant and let Popeyes take it over, or Denny's, or something like that, and they handle all that. Where the TA just doesn't have to worry about food supplies and all that stuff. So that's why that's doing that. It's the way of the future. Contract it all out, right? Cousin It, you said something I didn't get to read it. I used to pull loads of bottled water out of Flagstaff, but I can't remember the company. John, whatever company it was, it's probably different now. San Antonio has Rizzolis. John Armstrong, there was a Niagara Bottling or a Crystal Geyser there in Flagstaff, one of the two. Always loaded me too heavy and had to go back and pull off a few pallets, right? Southbound J, I was going to do one yesterday, but a couple of tubers took my thunder and did one last night on my subject. I'd rather starve than order McDonald's, says the Hool. I thought McDonald's was better in the European nation there. The truck stop makes money whether the fast food does or not, right? Never heard of keto till you talked about it. This has been the easiest way for me to keep the weight off. Thanks. Awesome, Cousin It. I love hearing stuff like that. I love reading stuff like that. When I was driving in the 1980s and early mid-90s, there was not too many fast food restaurants and truck stops, right? Guys, I can remember a time when cup holders were not in cars or trucks. I remember the first like oh, what do you call it? To-go cups. They were these little, they were the size of a regular coffee cup, right? And they had this little tiny disc that it slid into. And I remember my dad took a bolt and bolted it to the dash so he could just slide it in. And on certain roads, man, that coffee cup would be like shaking, and there was like brown coffee all everywhere. It was kind of, you'd have to clean it up every day, But now you buy a minivan that's got literally 15 cup holders in it. It's tables and stuff like that. And so the culture has changed. There wasn't a drive-through on every corner, and if there was, it was just to get it and go. I agree 100% on smart cup holders in cars and trucks. There you go. Good afternoon, Michael, semi-truck driver. Remember cars and trucks with two keys? Yeah, especially if you were General Motors. I was about 400 pounds. I am 290. Awesome, Ralph Floto. So you're doing better than me. I think my math is off. You're about the same. That's good. Well, I gotta go. Daniel, now me take the dogs out. Yeah, Daniel's got to take his 15 dogs or so out. I appreciate the super chat, Daniel. Thank you very much. I think that's about all I got. We're not quite at an hour yet, so if you guys got anything else you want to talk about, like I said, I've had a really good last 3 days, profitable, so that's kind of nice. Other than that, there's really not much I have going on. Just trying to stack while before winter really hits and before the holidays, because I'm predicting January is going to be kind of rough. So now I know that Roscoe, aka James Best, said that his best month of the year, in 2019 was January. January was not good for me because I still had my head up my butt. So, but we snapped out of it, and then February was a lot better. So, 3 dogs. What's that ball cap? It is Owida. There you go. Is that backwards? I don't know if that's backwards or not. How are your plans for Thanksgiving this year? We normally go to my in-laws, but they're not hosting it this year, so I'm not sure what the exact plan is. Morning I'll be doing a 5K, but beyond that, I have no idea if anything's been planned or set in stone or what. So, and what I might try to do is deliver something Wednesday, go home, and then pick up something Friday. I seem to have better luck when I work on Black Friday. So, I remember one time I was at a certain Walmart store that I always shop at, and it was literally, mine are always November, December, and January. So Southbound J. Are you doing a Thanksgiving video with food, a video to give thanks to the Lord what we have? No, I'll be doing a video of a 5K. So, Scott, take it easy. It's good hanging out with you yesterday. It's going to be rough for us reefer drivers this go around, I predict, after the 15th. Yeah, but Shadow Wolf, if it's a rough winter, you guys will be able to do the freeze protect stuff. That was one of the more difficult things during the polar vortex last year, was that there was a lot of stuff that we normally hauled that we couldn't, like Pepsi, soda, water, beer, and if it's freeze protect, then in certain cases we couldn't haul it. We don't want to risk a cargo claim, right? And it's like, and something to think about. So for you drive-in guys, let's say you pick up a load in Columbus, Ohio, and it's 25 degrees, right? And you pick up the load, and you know that where you shut down, let's say you're shutting down in, I don't know, Cuba, Missouri, right? If you can get that far, right? And the forecast for Cuba is like 40 degrees. So you don't have to worry about freeze protect at that point. But if you don't get out of Columbus, it's going to get down to 10 degrees, right? So you get loaded, you get down the road, you get 10 miles down the road, boom, truck breaks down. Now, you're not going to make it to where it's 40 degrees. Now you have a problem versus just the truck breakdown. Now you've got a trailer full of stuff that will freeze because your truck's not running and you're not moving, and that could become an issue. And you're by yourself, you got your own authority. Well, I guess if you had your authority, it'd be easy. Just go to Penske and rent a truck and get it delivered. It'd be expensive, but it'd be doable. But let's say you work for a small carrier like us, we don't have drop trailers, and I'm not sure how Jeff would handle us getting a rental. I mean, like Landstar Schneider, you can't do that. So I think it's an insurance issue, right? I think that's the big thing. So now you either got to hire somebody to deliver that trailer for you, or you risk a cargo claim because that stuff's going to freeze. So reefers, you don't have to worry about that. So I think that's where you can make up some lost revenue there, Shadow Wolf. Should you join Owida? Yes, Thomas Wilson. If you want privately, I could tell you the advantages of it. I did real good last year, but this is a even number year, and I've noticed, it seems on my part, I don't do too good mid-January, the end of February. Crazy thing. That's interesting, Shadow Wolf. Steve, can I come eat Thanksgiving dinner at your house? Sure. Yeah, Thomas, we'll hook you up. What does the reefer have to do with the truck running or not? Well, if the reefer, it's not just refrigerated, it can heat as well. So if you put something in the trailer and you don't want it to freeze and it's 10 degrees outside, now I'll have to use Google to get the measurements because I don't know that stuff Celsius. Then you could set the reefer for above freezing so that stuff never freezes. So there you go. And some people believe that if your truck's idling, the movement will keep water or soda from freezing. However, these new trucks idle so smoothly that I don't think that makes a difference. And if it sits for 3 days, definitely doesn't make a difference. No, I've never pulled a reefer trailer and never will. And I know, never say never, but I watched my dad be very miserable in the reefer world. I am not tough enough to do reefer. My hat's off to the guys that can do that. Well, I sit there and say never, but if I ever had my own authority, I think it'd be interesting to own a reefer trailer for winter time, for the freeze protect. I know a guy that has his own authority that did that. It's working well for him. We have to idle below 30 degrees. Yeah, and I've been under those kind of rules too. I remember the first time I dealt with freeze protect, I picked up a load of paint out of Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, and it was going to Atlanta. And my company said, in Qualcomm directions, it said, must protect from freezing. So being the smart aleck that I am, I called my dispatcher and I said, how the heck am I supposed to do that? And he was like, you're such a greenhorn. You have to idle the truck. Oh, so you're giving me permission to idle the truck only if it's below freezing? I'm like, okay. And I was heading to Atlanta, so it was a non-issue. PEPSA requires idling engine. Yeah, and if you can prove, the ELD would help you prove that the engine was on at that time that you had the load. So you said, well, I did what you told me and it still froze, right? But you know, the worst case scenario is, okay, so let's say you do a Pepsi load and your tank's down, right? And then you have to do something, right? What do? It's probably a bad idea drinking coffee this late. Frozen tampons, if you can do it as a kid, you can do it. Snow alert and all, have a blessed evening. Be safe. Good to go. Thanks for letting me in on your feed, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Shadow Wolf, for showing up, showing your support. I appreciate you. Shadow Wolf, you're one of the good guys. One of the good guys. So if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, let me know. If there's something else, my music bug's been really bugging me here lately. I'm like this close to putting the guitar back in the truck. I think a lot of that's because I've been watching Red Monkey Trucking. And when he told me about the backing tracks, I've been hooked ever since. Backing tracks is a great way for guitar players to play with themselves. Fix a cup of coffee right now. And the Blowfish have a new album. Sapbound J. I cannot stand Hootie and the Blowfish. Bust out the guitar, dude, says the Hool. I know. I'm still thinking about. I was looking at some acoustics, so I actually am would seriously consider one of those new acoustics at the Joplin Petro because they're just the right thinness, right? And they actually sound pretty good. Dooner Traveler Man, that's a good YouTube channel. He plays one of those, and he said it was pretty good. It stays in tune and all that. Yeah, backing tracks like overdubbing. So what happens there, Vaquero, is that somebody with a home studio puts out like 8 minutes of them playing for a guitar player to come in and play on top of it. So like called a backing track. And then so like if you're wanting to work on some solos, and let's say you want to look at blues in G major, right? Well, you type in blues in G major, and all this stuff will come up, right? Backing tracks. You know, you can do it any style of music. I don't know. It's like pretty music, right? But it's actually not bad. So, yeah, Soundbound J. I think they're pretty cool. They're definitely a good way to kind of develop your ear and kill time. You know, it's fun. It's like jamming with yourself. You know, for those of you who've never played in a band, that's a great feeling to jam with other people, to have a set mindset together and create something. That's I think Paul McCartney said that one of the best luxuries a man can have is a band, to create with a band. How much were they? I want to say they're 140, 150. They're a little bit higher than I like, which is why I hadn't bought one yet. But they're not like, crazy. Let me see if I can. Because it's Iowa 80, right? So let's type in Iowa 80 guitar. My signal is bad here. Still loading. All right, gift store. Yeah, let's look at the gift store here. I'll get a price for you. You should play us a song, Snorler. Well, I don't have any instruments now. So it's an app that lets guitar players play with themselves? No, it's not an app. You can find them on YouTube channels. YouTube, Rod Styles. You found a guitar the other day that folds down? I don't know about that. There's those skinny, like, traveling guitars. They take up almost no room, but there's like almost no resonance with them. I don't know how to play country music, Les. I know metal, and a little bit of rock. No, it's a Road Pro t-shirt. The Hool. Road Pro. So you can have a classical background with a metal front. Yeah. Yep. You could. Gift store. Let's see. Let's click 20 links to get to these dang things. They use a better search engine. It's not all. Yeah, it's not all loading. This website sucks. Oh well. Look up Iowa 80. But no, I can't play country. I'm not really great with like actual full chords. A little sloppy. And back in my Lancer days, I injured this hand, the nerves in this hand, trying to dolly up or dolly down a trailer that was loaded. It was being an idiot. Like for about a year, I couldn't play guitar. So, and I still don't have all my dexterity recovered from that. And that was 5 years ago. B. Craighead, what's up? I want to hear Snow. I think one of my favorite classic songs, "Want to Metal Up," you know. That was one of my dad's favorite songs, and he used to play it in his band. So. It's good to have I do have 2 vlogs or 2 things in the GoPro. We could talk about that. So, I booked a load out of Ohio going to Mobile, receiver. I knew I was in for a rough ride because it was in the middle of a residential neighborhood. And I knew that it was physically possible to get trucks back there because this place had trucks in the satellite image. I knew it's possible, so I called the company and said, "How do your trucks get in there?" And she was like, "Well, see, I don't know. Put me on the phone with one of the drivers." "Yeah, they're not here right now." So like, okay, find the Virginia Street exit, and then this. And I'm bad about that. You know, I always I need exit numbers, right? And for some reason, Google Maps stopped putting exit numbers on satellite images. You know, they used to have exit numbers. And so Google, if you're listening, which I know you are, exit numbers on Google Maps, please return them. So a friend of mine told me, "Well, go up this way and you should be okay." Well, the first route I had to make was a non-truck route, so now I'm improvising. Now, those who don't know, truck GPSs, to avoid non-truck routes, become a port in the storm mentality, and they put you down worse than no truck routes to avoid a truck route, right, or a non-truck route. And that's exactly what happened. This GPS was like, "Okay, I give up. Here's how you get out of where you're at," right? Meanwhile, I'm hitting trees. This is why I don't suggest anybody have a wrapped trailer, because with the neighborhood I had to drive through, it wouldn't have been pretty, right? And at one point I was stuck, literally, because there were cars on both sides. There was a funeral going on. So what I'm going to do, like, go, "Hey, I know you're sad and stuff, but do you think you can move your car?" So I don't, a nightmare situation. I've had bad dreams about this scenario, and I'm in it, right? And so I finally find the customer. They literally had to send somebody in a pickup to have me follow them. That's how bad it got. I set the brakes in the left turning lane, put the 4-ways on, and they had to come get me, right? So I get to the customer, I breathe a sigh of relief. Now I'm pressed to get my next load. I've already booked it, but I got to be there by 3, and it's like 11 o'clock. Easy, right? Only 10 miles away. So I back the truck to their hole-in-the-wall slab and ram the crap out of it, right? Because there's no, the bumper pads are too high. This trailer sits about 6 inches higher than what the floor of their thing was. So I dealt with that, and the lady's like, she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, that's a full truckload." I'm like, "Yeah? Man, I didn't expect that. Please tell me you know how to run a forklift." I'm like, it's been like 30 years, and I don't even know how a forklift's gonna help because the trailer is 6 inches above the dock. So she has to call Billy Bob Jr.'s cousin's friend or something that lives in the neighborhood. And he comes by and he's running the forklift now. And they literally had to tailgate the load because their dock plate that they use, the ramp, was broken. And if the thing that holds it to the trailer was broken, so therefore, every time the forklift got on, it would just slide off. So they couldn't deal with that. And so 12 o'clock comes around. I call the broker and they're like, well, let me know if it gets down to an hour. You know. But they finally got me unloaded, and then getting out of there, I put that on my GoPro. So you guys can see the neighborhood. Now, the wide angle lens doesn't do it justice. You're going to be like, whatever. But trust me when I tell you that those to get through. So. Sheriff's had to come get me once when Schneider's GPS really screwed me in Arizona. Yep. So the important part when you find yourself in that situation is not to hit the panic point. The panic point is when you get so frustrated or so flustered that you can be touching whatever pole and you're just, screw it, I'm going for it, right? There's a video, I think I may have posted on Facebook, where this guy literally ran over a pole and he just literally gutted the underside of a brand new trailer. Totaled it, right? Because he had hit a panic point and could not just stop. Every time he put that truck into gear, he was creating more and more damage. And then there's the infamous USA truck video where the guy was trying to turn around and he was so panicked that he was out of the truck, you know, just like freaking out. And had he not been panicking, he could have realized that he could have backed up 20 feet and then had enough room to turn around. He was trying to avoid a 12-ton bridge. And that truck got totaled. There was a time where I was in Shreveport and I took a wrong turn, and there was a construction zone where they had these delineators, these metal delineators, and I couldn't make any turns. So I literally had to go straight. And then I found a Home Depot parking lot. I was able to turn around there and get out. But I almost hit that panic point and almost said, you know what, I'm taking out a delineator. It doesn't matter. But I didn't. I just, there's nothing wrong with setting the brakes on that truck in the middle of an intersection and taking a breath. It doesn't matter if there's everybody flipping you off and honking the horn. You have to clear your mind or else you're going to make a mistake. If you're panicked, if you're angry, if you're flustered, it's easy to make a mistake. So I used to drive a school bus where it was legal for me to stop traffic for the kids, right? I had my own stop sign and everything. I have no problem making people sit and wait to get my stuff cleared, right? So this battery is going to die, so we're going to keep this at about an hour. And just set the brakes and take a breather. Do not put that truck under that bridge. If you have to back up, if you have to call the cops and say, I am stuck, I cannot leave, I'm going to need to do a maneuver that requires assistance, do it. There's nothing wrong. And where I learned this was here. I had to do a 3-stop pickup in Chicagoland, and it freaked me out because the first time I ever dealt with Chicago, I was in some bad situations, and so I had this anxiety every time my company sent me to Chicago. And a friend of mine, I called him up, and he eased my anxiety. I was like, "Look, man, this is before the GPSs and stuff like that." He was like, "You know what? At worst, you have to set the brakes, call the cops, tell them you need help. Ain't nothing wrong with that." And it made me feel better. It's like, you know what? You can only do what you can only do. As long as you don't damage anything, doesn't matter if the load's late, doesn't matter if you can't pick it up, doesn't matter if you get a ticket. As long as you don't hit stuff, you'll be good to go. Right, if you got to back up, tell them to move. They get mad, tell them, okay, let me know when you want to go back up because I'm going to go make much. I had to do that, Southbound Jay. On the way into this place, I had to make this right turn, and this car that was trying to turn left would not move. The other car saw what the dilemma was, and they all backed up. This gangster looking dude just looked at me like, and we were having a stare down. And I just kind of put my arms up like, look, dude, you got to move. And so he backs up like I've inconvenienced his whole entire world, right? And he barely gave me enough room to finish the turn, right? And then he honks his horn and flips me off. Like, dude, you saw me coming. You saw what I needed to happen, right? And I had no problems other than the fear of getting shot, that I was going to sit in this intersection and screw up the entire city of Mobile, Alabama, because I physically cannot move. It's either damage his car or damage my trailer, and guess who's going to win in that argument? You know? So I'll just sit there and set the brakes and put my arms up like, look, dude, there's one ways this goes down, you know? And shooting me is not going to help me get my truck out of the way. Then said, thank you, have a blessed day, right? So anyways, guys, this has been a good weekend live. I appreciate all the super chats, all of you. I appreciate everybody that watches this channel. And if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up so more people be like, what's this goofy looking dude about, right? And, you know, if you're struggling with diet or you know, just, I don't know, anything, you know, holler. And if I can't, maybe I can tell you who can. But anyways, I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate all the super chats. Thank you very much. And you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and stick around for Provost Motors. Being said, thanks, peace, good night.